everyone, welcome back to another great episode of Rihanna's Cuisines. Today I'm going to be making ground beef curry. Had a lot of people asking how to make that. It's just going to be a very simple curry, nothing too much going on. So let's get started. I'm going to start cooking it and then I'm going to explain you all the ingredients as well. So into my a saucepan here, I've started it, and I'm going to go ahead and add about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil in here. I love cooking with olive oil. You can use any oil that you like, but I really don't feel like there's a taste, olive oil taste in there that, you know, it takes it to another level. It's really plain. It can't tell that there's olive oil in it. So once we put that in there, we want to put our onion in here, and this is half of a big onion, and I'm using my Vidalia onions because I love Vidalia onions. And the reason why I started this before explaining all the other ingredients to you guys is that we want to saute this until it's really nice and almond color, like how the almond peel is. And the more we saute this, the more rich our curry is gonna taste. So while this is sauteing, let's get back here and I'm gonna show you some of the stuff of what we're gonna add in there. So we're gonna be adding a teaspoon of turmeric. We're also going to be adding some fresh coriander that is chopped up, and we're gonna do that in the end. So we're gonna keep that for garnishing. I have onions here that are pre-fried, and let me just get the big for you so you guys have an idea. This is just one type that you can get at the store. They have different types. It's fried. So this is completely optional, but I really feel that by adding this and the procedure that I'll show you how I add it really takes it to a different level, gives it like that restaurant quality taste to it. So I'll show you how we're gonna do that. I've got a teaspoon of cumin powder. I have half a cinnamon stick here. This is completely optional. The reason I like the cinnamon stick is I just like the flavor of the cinnamon in the cumin curry. I mean in the ground beef curry. Now if you didn't want to do that, just leave it out. I have some dried red peppers here. I've got some really nice red chili peppers here, chili pepper powder, and then I've got some garam masala here too that we're gonna be adding on top. We're gonna be adding 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I have 2.5 potatoes that are cut up in cubed. We're gonna add salt. We're gonna add about a cup of green peas in there, which is completely optional, but I love having green peas in it. I've grown up with it, so I usually add that in there. And I'm just gonna come back and just make sure, and I'll see how really nicely it's coming along really well. We're just gonna give it another couple seconds here. All right, then we're gonna be adding about a teaspoon of ginger and garlic. And then here I have about 2 Roma tomatoes that I have grinded it up with nothing. It's just tomatoes, no water, nothing. So we're gonna be adding that in there. And then we're also going to be adding some water in there. Now, the water is completely optional. If you want a curry that is a little watery that you can eat with rice, you can do that. If you're gonna serve it with like naan or bread or roti, I would keep it a little bit more drier, so I won't put that much water in it, okay? So here we go. We added, the onions are really good to go. To that, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my ground beef. And my ground beef is really, really good. It's just that it's oxidized. I've been doing videos all day and I took it out, so it's just oxidized, and that's the only reason why it has gone brown a little bit. But other than that, it's perfect. So now to this, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of water in here. And the reason to add the water in there is that it's going to help us not have huge clumps in it. There's one thing that turns me off whether I go anywhere that I eat, and that is when you eat ground beef curry and you see like clumps of ground beef in there. It's just, to me, I don't like that. I think the ground beef has to be really nice and like pulled apart. Like it shouldn't be in looking like sausage, or shouldn't be looking like clumps. So by putting the water in, that really helps to reduce the lumping, if that's a word. All right, so we're just gonna stir this. I brought the temperature a bit higher so we can get a boil on this. Okay, now what I also want, the other thing that I love doing is I like cooking my tomato paste a little bit with the ground beef. I think it gives it a really nice rich taste. So let's go ahead and add about 2 tablespoons of the tomato paste in there. And as it still boils and cooks, it's still going to eliminate more of the lumps in there. Okay, at this point, in goes our potatoes. In goes our green peas. Give this a quick stir. Okay, let's add our ginger and garlic in there, about a teaspoon of it. Now let's go ahead and sprinkle in all the spices that we have. So let's start with our cinnamon goes in, our dried peppers go in, cumin powder, garam masala, turmeric, and our chili powder, and the tomato puree. See, we already have that really nice red rich color. Okay, we forgot salt, so salt goes in. You also want to make sure that you do a taste test after it's done cooking to make sure that it is perfect for your palate at home. Okay. Now I feel like it looks just a little bit too thick, so I'm just going to add the water in my tomatoes because I don't want to waste any. Okay. At this point, I'm going to cover our curry up, and I'm going to wait until the potatoes and the peas are fully cooked through. So we're going to come back in about, I don't know, about 7 to 10 minutes. I'll let you know how long it took for the potatoes and the peas to get done. Ground beef curry is done. I'll show you, just open this up, and you just want to make sure that, see these potatoes, you just want to, if they're, see how they're just breaking, that's perfect. So we're all ready with that. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to serve this, and we'll also have to, I'll show you something else too. Okay. All right, so once you have that, and then just before serving, what you do is you take a little fry pan, put it on the stove, add a little bit of olive oil in there. This is really gonna bring out that rich restaurant taste in it. And I don't want to put it up too high because it burns very quickly. I'll put my fried onions in here. And you can add more oil if you like. I don't want to add more oil, so I'm just gonna do it this way. But if you guys really want a lot of oil in there, I know some people like it where the oil is actually floating on top of the curries. I'm sorry, I can't eat stuff like that, so I'm not doing it that way. But if you want to, hey, more power to you. You can go ahead and do that. It's completely fine. Now, it's getting to the point where it's gonna burn very quickly, so I gotta work very quickly. Okay, I just wanna take out that flavor and crispy it up just a bit. That's it, that's all we're gonna do. It's gonna burn very quickly. And we're gonna add it to just like so. And I'm not gonna do a taste test because we're having dinner. So, and then I'm gonna top it off with some nice coriander, squeeze of a lemon, and that's it. And that's how we're gonna have it. And I'm gonna be serving this with rice and with rotis. So if you haven't checked out my tandoori rotis or pita pockets, I really recommend that you do so because they taste amazing with this curry. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Rehanna's Cuisines. Hope you can join me here next time with another great video. See you then, friends.